Hello everybody, we're going to do a little warm-up exercise here and learn the first thing about creating assemblies. So I'm going to start by making a simple block, and please follow along with me and make these blocks the same size if you could. So I'm first going to sketch a block, and I'm going to make this block 2 inches by 2 inches by 2 inches. Right, so I'm using my rectangle tool. We all should be pretty used to this by now. And I'm going to make sure that I make these 2 inches. Side is also going to be 2 inches. So notice I'm using the Smart Dimension tool when I do that. I'm going to exit the sketch, and I'm going to extrude. I'm going to extrude 2 inches. All right. Now I'm going to cut a hole on the front. So I'm going to sketch on the front surface a circle. There we go. And I'm going to make that circle 1 inch. Okay, now I'm going to cut that through. So I'm going to use my extrude cut, and I'm going to cut it all the way through to the other side. There we go. Got a block with a hole in it, and that's a 1 inch hole. Alright, so I'm going to save this. I'm going to save it as my desktop, call it block with hole. And then I'm also going to make another part. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to make just a round peg to put into that hole. So I'm going to sketch. And on the front plane, I'm going to make this 0.9 in diameter. Right? So a little bit smaller than the hole that I'm going to put it into. Exit the sketch. And now let me extrude this, and I'm going to make it a little bit longer. I'm going to extrude off of both surfaces. So I'm going to call that a mid-plane extrude. And I'm going to go 2.5 inches. Okay. There we go. So I'm going to save this. I'm going to call this a cylinder. So now I'm going to create an assembly. So an assembly is multiple parts that we're pulling together to produce a final design. So far in our work together, we've only dealt with single parts. Now we're going to start working with multiple parts. So I am going to now make an assembly. And I'm going to start by inserting the block with the hole. Okay, so this is new. So I'm in a new space. This space, basically what you can do is you can insert parts, and you can prescribe how those parts are going to be positioned relative to each other. So here I am. I'm going to select the block with the hole, and I'm going to plunk it down in space. And there it is. Now, I'm going to insert another component, and I'm going to make that the cylinder. So there's my cylinder. I'm going to plunk that down. Okay, a couple things to notice here. So this space is just like any part space that I'm working with. My same commands are going to allow me to zoom in and zoom out and to rotate around. The special thing though is that this space, certain parts can move. So I can move this cylinder around. The cylinder was the second part that I inserted. So I'm just left clicking on the cylinder and I can move it. I can't move my block. My block is fixed in space. And I can see on my hierarchy over here that it's got this F in front of it. F means fixed. I can also spin my cylinder. If I right click, I can spin it around and I can move it. This is permanently moving it in space. Alright, so now I'm ready to basically put this cylinder inside of the hole that I already cut. I'm going to do this by prescribing a mate. Excuse me, a drink of water. So I'm going to prescribe a mate. Mates are ways of telling the computer how two parts relate to each other. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the concentric mate. Concentric is for holes. And I'm going to select 2 surfaces that I'd like to make concentric. I want to make this cylinder concentric with this cylinder. And you'll notice that they line up really nice. I'm going to click OK. Now, if I try to move the cylinder, it'll only move in and out so it maintains itself as being concentric with that block. I can also spin it, so I can spin the cylinder in space, and I can move it back and forth. Alright, so now let's say I wanted to make the cylinder so that the front face here is flush, always flush with the block face. Let me do that. I'm going to use something called a coincident mate. So I'm going to say that this surface is coincident with, oops, wrong, selected the edge, that this surface is coincident with this surface. And you'll notice now it lines up real nice, okay? So I want you guys to practice playing with these mates. So it's very important that we learn how to do the concentric mate right now, and also the coincident mate to make the faces line up. All right, when I'm done here, I'm going to just save. I'm going to save this assembly. I'm just going to call it block cylinder CYL assembly. Okay, and that's saving these two parts together. Okay, so even though I saved individual parts, I didn't save the relationship between the two of them. All right, that's what I wanted to show you for our warm-up activity, and we'll move on to the